Alright guys, we are 3 hours into this drive. We just drove 135 miles from Toronto. We are using eco mode and we are at 19.6 miles to the gallon. Now that's not that great, but I think our average MPG is a little bit lowered by the fact that we got stuck in traffic for an hour before we could leave Toronto. So that kind of hurt the MPG in eco mode, but we will see what the MPG is when we get back home. Alright guys, now Donna's driving. She's got it in eco mode. How's it driving so far?
Good.
Alright, we are just under a half a tank of gas. We are 143 miles into this trip and we're at 19.6 miles to the gallon.
It's hard to drive in kilometers.
Yeah.
It's different than in the U.S.
It's hard to
adjust
keep
to
the
it.
speed under control when you're looking at the kilometers instead of the miles. So, yeah.
It's a little confusing.
Yeah. Alright guys, we're going to check back in later and we will see you guys then. Alright guys, going over the bridge to the US. Do we need our passports again?
Probably, so you need to get those out of my purse.
Alright guys, driving over the Canadian bridge. We are at 180 through 88 miles in at 20 mpg. Just headed over the bridge. Back in Michigan, officially in Michigan. Yes. Alright guys, we are now home after this 236 mile drive. Donna drove all the way, well, halfway from Canada, and we are at 236 miles. It took almost 5 hours, 4 hours and 50 minutes, and we still have 200 miles till empty, so that's pretty good. We literally drove all the way to Toronto, Canada from Detroit, about 230 or so miles one way, and we still have a quarter tank with 200 miles till empty. Pretty crazy. So trip number 2, we got 19.9 miles to the gallon. We used eco mode coming home on trip meter number 2, and we encountered some traffic leaving the city, so I think that's what kind of hurt our mileage. Let's see what trip number 1 is. A total of 471 miles, 471.5 miles. Took 10 hours of driving and MPG average of 19.9. So for the entire trip, we averaged 19.9 miles to the gallon. And with the extended range fuel tank, we still have 200 miles left till empty. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty impressive stuff. You know, we've driven 471 miles and we still have a quarter tank of gas. Without the extended range tank, that'd be very, very dangerous. Like, you could probably run out. You definitely would run out of gas if you tried that without the extended range tank. So pretty cool. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. How was the drive?
Really good.
How did you like?
Lane assist really makes you stay focused. So it's a really cool feature that they have. Because if you don't use your turn signal, the whole wheel shakes. Or if you start to veer off, she'll tell you to rest.
So pretty cool, guys. Please subscribe, and there'll be more content to come. Alright guys, it's 9:37 at night, and I want to fill this truck up with gas to see how much fuel we used on this MPG test, driving all the way to Toronto and back. And here's a shot of the screen now. Just driving up here, I drove a little bit fast, so we dropped down 0.1 mpg, so we're now at 19.8 mpg, and for both trip meters I think they're about the same. So trip 2 was just coming home in eco mode, returned 19.8, and for the entire trip, the entire 473 miles, we returned 19.8. So it all kind of balanced out. I don't really know what the Ecoboost or eco mode does, but I'm sure if both runs were totally equal, then the eco mode will return slightly better MPG. For the second part of the trip coming back, we were in Eco, but we also encountered like an hour's worth of traffic in the city of Toronto. But anyway, let's fill this truck up and see how much gas was used. Alright guys, so we used 24.9 gallons of gas. Alright. Alright, so for the trip. And now, with the MPG at 19.8, the range is 650 miles. Pretty impressive. But, yeah, that is pretty cool stuff. Anyway, guys, that concludes the MPG test. Please leave a comment below, and I will get back to you. Thank you for watching. Bye.